Last year, I started a card business out of my basement, and somehow still doesn't make sense to me. I've done over $130,000 in sales, and so let me tell you a little bit about my journey. Again, still seems kind of crazy, but what's up, everyone? Welcome. My name is TJ. I own a Pokemon card business called Pokepastortcg, and so welcome to my channel. Yeah, I want to give this whole content creation thing a go, and I figured I've had some success doing this, and so I want to share some tips and tricks with you guys. But let me introduce myself. So my name is TJ. I am a husband, so I'm married. I have a wife, so I'm not a total loser. I have 3 children. One of them just was born a couple weeks ago, so that's great. So a 6-year-old, 2-year-old, and then now a baby, an infant. So running on fumes here, but that's how it goes. And then I'm a pastor, so that's what I do full time for work. So I work at a church. Yes, I believe in God, and I work at a church, and that's like a huge part of my life, right? Is reaching people for Jesus. Anyways, get that out of the way. So last year, like I said, I started a side hustle, a Pokemon card business out of my basement, primarily through a website called TCG Player. Now, if you're not familiar with TCG Player, it is basically like eBay, but specifically for trading cards. In fact, they're owned by eBay, but yeah. Anyways. It has been a wild ride. It has been very interesting. Never thought that this would be the case. So let me back up and explain to you guys how I got into this. So maybe 2 years ago, my daughter was 4. We were out. We saw that there were Pokemon cards for sale. I hadn't even thought about Pokemon cards since I was a kid, right? Since I was a kid, ripping packs and trading cards with people. And I was like, sick. There are some Pokemon cards right there. Hey, Bella, let's get some of these. She's like, what are these? And so I bought her and introduced her to the world of Pokemon, and we got to rip open some packs. I think it was like Celebration, which in hindsight, looking back, was like not the craziest set to open up. There were probably way cooler things at the time that I could have opened. Anyway, so we opened those, and it was fun. So we had a bunch of fun doing that, and we'd do that periodically here and there, and I'd watch, the show with her and stuff and get her into the world of Pokemon. And then over time, like we kind of just accrued a bunch of cards that we had opened, like, hits or rare cards or whatever that would just kind of sit around. And I realized that we had a lot more fun opening up packs than we did actually having these cards here. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to sell these. And at the same time, I started taking in some Pokemon content on YouTube, specifically in like the investing space, right? Like the Pokemon hobby is kind of weird. There's a bunch of like different quadrants, right? Different areas. And so that'd be a video for another time. But particularly in the investing space, which if you're unfamiliar, there's a whole part of YouTube where people talk about Pokemon cards as a monetary investment. Like there'd be people out here making lots and lots of money buying Pokemon cards, primarily like sealed boxes, sitting on them for a long time, and then they just sell them down the road after they become more scarce and go up in value. It's kind of like a stock market type thing, except for way nerdier, and I would say probably riskier, definitely riskier. Anyways, so I was watching some of those videos, and at the same time, I had bought a couple of boxes, right? And I knew, like, hey, at one point, sometime down the road, I'm going to want to sell these boxes, and in order for me to actually sell these boxes and get close to market price for them, I'm going to need some kind of platform that I'm familiar with and I'm selling on. And so I had these singles, these cards lying around. I had these boxes that I knew I would want to sell sometime down the road. And so I created an account on the website called TCG Player. And I was like, yeah, all right, here we go. This would be great. And so I listed a few cards, and you know what? They sold. I think I listed them like TCG low. So it's the lowest price on the platform for that particular card. And of course they sold, but they sold. And I was like, this is sick. And they're kind of like a cool feeling when something sells, right? Like, I don't know if any of you guys played WoW, World of Warcraft. I played a lot of World of Warcraft. I'm actually playing Classic Hardcore right now. I think I'm like 25 Priest. Anyways, when you're listing stuff in that game, there's an auction house. You can list stuff. And when you see like that little mail icon up by your map that someone bought your stuff, it's like, sick, someone bought my stuff. And this was kind of like that, but with real money, where like I listed something in real life, someone bought it, and I'd get something in my real life inbox saying, hey, someone bought something that you had listed. So that was pretty sick. And so I enjoyed it. I sold everything that we had, and I was like, hey, I'm going to get more. I need to get more. I want to keep doing this. And so I went on Facebook, of all places, and I joined a few groups and looked at Marketplace, and there were a bunch of people selling their collections, selling their Pokemon cards. And I was like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to buy their collections, and I'm not going to be able to pay market value, right? Because if I did that, I wouldn't make any money, because of course TCG Player has fees and all those things, but I'd be able to pay a percentage of the market value so that there's some margin for me to make some money. And so that's what I did. And basically that repeated again and again and again over time. And now I'm 8 months in, and I've sold about $135,000 for six figure. That's crazy. About $135,000 worth of Pokemon cards, which is nuts. That's a lot of money. And even now I have not made, this is really important. I've not made $135,000. Okay. This is not me saying like, hey, pastor guy doing your stuff, like making six figures. No, I've sold that much. I have not made that much. There's a big difference between sales and profit, at least in this industry. Margins are there, but they are slim. But it's been really cool. Like I've enjoyed it. And also, like I'm in this now, like a finished basement. This used to be an unfinished basement that I sold cards out of. And now I'm in this little office down here. And basically my family has been able to finish this basement in our house. Something's going on out there. In our house, because I've been selling Pokemon cards. And so, man, I've made a lot of mistakes. I've had a lot of wins. I've had a ton of fun. And I am creating this YouTube channel to maybe help you, because maybe like me, you'd like to get into the Pokemon card selling business, and 2025 is a heck of a time to do it. It's a crazy time to do it, to be honest, because the Pokemon market is all over the place right now. It is bananas, and that's a video for another time. But seriously, I'm excited to get this channel going. I'm excited to talk a little bit more about how I've been able to make it here, what my business model has looked like so far. And if you want to be part of this journey with me, feel free to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'll link my Instagram down below. It's brand new Instagram as well. And then also I'll link my store where I have my singles for sale, where you can buy them at a lower price than you'd be able to find them on the TCG Player Marketplace. And so yeah, that's my shtick. Look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thanks for stopping by. God bless. Thanks, y'all.